Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. You know me, I love talking about making money, building wealth, and achieving financial freedom. And one of the biggest questions I get is, Graham, where do I even start? Whether you're just starting your career, you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, or you want to start building that real wealth, this is the video for you. We're going to cover some simple, actionable steps that you can take right now to get your finances in order, start saving more money, and start building a brighter financial future. So grab a notebook, get ready to take some notes, and let's unlock your financial freedom. Alright, let's kick things off with budgeting. Now, I know what you're thinking. Budgeting? That sounds boring. But trust me on this one. Budgeting is the foundation of a solid financial plan. Think of it like this. If you're building a house, you wouldn't just start laying bricks without a blueprint, right? A budget is your financial blueprint. It helps you track where your money's going, identify areas where you can cut back, and most importantly, make sure you're spending your hard-earned cash on things that actually matter to you. It's not about restricting yourself, it's about being in control. It's about having a plan so you can afford the things you want in life, whether that's a new car, a down payment on a house, or early retirement. Now, there are a ton of different budgeting methods out there, but one of my favorites is the 50/30/20 rule. It's simple, it's effective, and it's a great starting point for anyone new to budgeting. Here's how it works. You take your after-tax income and you divide it into 3 categories. 50% goes to your needs, 30% goes to your wants, and 20% goes towards savings and debt repayment. Needs are your essential expenses. Things like rent or mortgage payments, groceries, utilities, transportation, and of course your internet bill. Gotta stream those videos. Wants are the fun stuff. Things like eating out, entertainment, travel, those designer shoes you've had your eye on. And finally, that 20% for savings and debt repayment is crucial for building a strong financial foundation. Now I know what you're thinking. Graham, 30% on wants? That seems low. But here's the thing, it's all about finding the right balance for you. The 50/30/20 rule is just a guideline. If you're really serious about paying off debt quickly or saving up for a big purchase, you might want to adjust those percentages. Maybe you do 60% needs, 20% wants, and 40% savings and debt repayment. The key is to be honest with yourself about your spending habits and find a system that works for you. Remember, it's your money, your life, your rules. Okay, so now that you understand the basics of budgeting and the 50/30/20 rule, let's talk about how to actually track your spending. Back in the day, we used to have to do all of this manually, writing down every expense in a notebook. But thankfully, technology has made budgeting so much easier. There are tons of amazing budgeting apps out there, like Mint, Personal Capital, YNAB, You Need a Budget, and many more. These apps connect to your bank accounts and credit cards, automatically categorize your transactions, and give you a clear picture of where your money is going. Trust me, seeing all of your spending laid out in front of you can be a real eye-opener. It helps you identify areas where you might be overspending without even realizing it. Now, one of the best things you can do to make budgeting even easier is to automate your savings and bill payments. Think about it. How many times have you said to yourself, I'll transfer money to my savings account later, and then life gets in the way and you completely forget? With automation, you can set it and forget it. You can have a certain amount of money automatically transferred from your checking account to your savings account each month. You can also set up automatic bill payments so you never miss a due date and get hit with those pesky late fees. Remember, budgeting isn't about being perfect. It's about making progress, building better financial habits, and taking control of your money. It might take a little bit of time to find a budgeting method that works best for you, and that's okay. The most important thing is to start somewhere and be consistent. In the next chapter, we're going to talk about building an emergency fund, which is crucial for protecting yourself from unexpected financial setbacks. So stick around. Alright, now that we've covered the importance of budgeting, let's move on to another crucial aspect of personal finance: building an emergency fund. Life is unpredictable, right? Your car could break down, you could lose your job, or you could have an unexpected medical bill pop up. These things happen, and when they do, you don't want to be caught off guard. That's where an emergency fund comes in. It's your financial safety net, your peace of mind, knowing that you have a cushion to fall back on if and when life throws you a curveball. So, how much should you aim to save in your emergency fund? Well, a good rule of thumb is to have 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses saved up. Now, I know that might sound like a lot, especially when you're first starting out. But remember, this is your financial safety net, and you want it to be strong enough to support you if you need it. Start small, even if it's just $10 or $20 a week. Every little bit adds up over time. The key is to be consistent and make it a priority. Now, where should you keep your emergency fund? You don't want to keep it in your checking account where it's easily accessible and tempting to spend. Instead, I recommend opening a high-yield savings account. These accounts typically offer a higher interest rate than traditional savings accounts, which means your money will grow faster. Plus, they're still FDIC insured, so your money is safe. There are a ton of online banks that offer great high-yield savings accounts. So do your research and find one that's right for you. Building an emergency fund takes time and discipline, but it's one of the best things you can do for your financial well-being. Think about it this way. Every dollar you contribute to your emergency fund is a dollar that you won't have to put on a credit card or borrow from friends or family if an unexpected expense comes up. It's about having peace of mind, knowing that you're prepared for whatever life throws your way. Now, once you've built up a solid emergency fund of 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses, you can start thinking about other financial goals, like saving for a down payment on a house, investing for retirement, or paying off debt. But remember, your emergency fund is there for a reason. It's not meant to be invested in the stock market or used for discretionary spending. It's your financial foundation, and you want to keep it strong and stable. Building an emergency fund might not be the most exciting financial goal, but it's one of the most important. It's about protecting yourself and your loved ones from financial hardship. And in the next chapter, we're going to tackle another important topic: managing debt. We'll discuss different types of debt, strategies for paying it off, and how to avoid falling into the debt trap. Stay tuned. Alright, let's talk about debt. It's a topic that often brings a lot of anxiety and stress, but it doesn't have to be that way. Understanding debt can empower you to make better financial decisions. It's something I get asked about all the time, and for good reason. Debt is a common part of modern life, and almost everyone will encounter it at some point. Whether it's student loans, credit card debt, or a mortgage, understanding how to manage it is crucial. A lot of people struggle with it, but it doesn't have to be this big, scary monster in your life. With the right strategies and mindset, you can take control of your debt and use it to your advantage. The truth is, debt itself isn't always a bad thing. In fact, it can be a powerful tool when used correctly. The key is to understand the different types of debt and how they can impact your financial health. There's good debt and bad debt, and understanding the difference is crucial. Good debt can help you build wealth and achieve your financial goals, while bad debt can hold you back and cost you a lot of money in the long run. Good debt is what I like to call strategic debt. It's an investment in your future, like a mortgage that helps you buy a house, or student loans that help you get an education and increase your earning potential. A mortgage, for example, allows you to purchase a home, which can appreciate in value over time. This not only provides you with a place to live, but also builds equity that can be a significant part of your net worth. Similarly, student loans can be seen as an investment in your future. By obtaining a higher education, you can increase your earning potential and open up more career opportunities. This type of debt can pay off in the long run if managed wisely. These typically come with lower interest rates and can help build long-term wealth. They are considered good debt because they have the potential to improve your financial situation over time. Bad debt, on the other hand, is what you really want to avoid. This includes high-interest credit card debt from overspending and loans with really unfavorable terms. This type of debt can quickly spiral out of control and become a major financial burden. Think high-interest credit card debt from overspending. Credit cards can be useful tools if used responsibly, but they can also lead to significant debt if not managed properly. The high interest rates can make it difficult to pay off the balance, leading to a cycle of debt. Or loans with really unfavorable terms. These types of loans often come with high interest rates and fees that can make them very expensive. It's important to read the fine print and understand the terms before taking on any debt. This kind of debt just digs you deeper into a hole, making it harder to get out. It can feel like you're trapped in a financial web with no way to escape. The more you owe, the more you pay in interest, and the harder it becomes to pay off the principal, costing you money in interest payments and holding you back from reaching your financial goals. High-interest debt can eat away at your income, leaving you with less money to save or invest. It can also affect your credit score, making it more difficult to obtain favorable loan terms in the future. Remember that scene in the movie, Up, where the house is weighed down by all those balloons? That's a great metaphor for bad debt. It can feel like a heavy weight that's holding you down, preventing you from moving forward. That's what bad debt can feel like. It's dragging you down and preventing you from soaring to new financial heights. The weight of the debt can be overwhelming, making it difficult to focus on other financial goals. It's dragging you down and preventing you from soaring to new financial heights. But the good news is, you can break free from the chains of debt. By understanding the difference between good and bad debt, and by making smart financial decisions, you can take control of your financial future and achieve your goals. Now, when it comes to tackling debt, one of the most popular and effective methods out there is the debt snowball. This method has gained a lot of traction because of its simplicity and the psychological boost it provides. Unlike other debt repayment strategies that might focus on interest rates or other financial metrics, the debt snowball method is all about building momentum and keeping you motivated. Imagine a tiny snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small and seemingly insignificant, but as it continues to roll, it picks up more snow and grows larger. As it rolls, it picks up more snow, getting bigger and bigger until it becomes this unstoppable force. This is exactly what happens with your debt repayments when you use the debt snowball method. That's the idea behind the debt snowball method. It's about creating a sense of progress and achievement that keeps you going, even when the journey seems long and arduous. You start by listing out all your debts from smallest to largest, regardless of the interest rates. This step is crucial because it gives you a clear picture of what you're up against and helps you prioritize your efforts. Then, you focus all your energy on attacking that smallest debt first, making minimum payments on everything else. This concentrated effort allows you to eliminate the smallest debt quickly, giving you a quick win. Once that smallest debt is gone, bam, you get a rush of accomplishment and relief. It's a small victory, but it's incredibly empowering. You take the money you were putting towards it and roll it into the next smallest debt, while still maintaining minimum payments on the rest. This way, your payments on the next debt grow larger, just like that snowball. This creates momentum and gives you a psychological win early on, which is crucial because, let's be real, paying off debt can be a grind. The sense of progress keeps you motivated and focused. That feeling of accomplishment when you knock out that first debt, that right there is fuel for the fire, trust me. It's like a domino effect. Each debt you pay off gives you more confidence and determination to tackle the next one. It keeps you motivated to keep going and conquer the next debt on your list. The debt snowball method is not just about numbers, it's about changing your mindset and building a habit of financial discipline. By the time you're done, you'll not only be debt-free but also more financially savvy and resilient. Now, if you're more numbers-oriented and want to save the absolute most money on interest payments, then the debt avalanche method might be more your style. This method is particularly appealing to those who love to see the numbers work in their favor, and enjoy the satisfaction of knowing they are making the most financially sound decisions. It's a method that requires patience and discipline, but the rewards are substantial. Instead of focusing on the smallest debt first, you prioritize the debt with the highest interest rate. This means you list all your debts, from the one with the highest interest rate to the one with the lowest. By doing this, you ensure that you are tackling the most costly debt first, which is the one that is costing you the most in interest payments. It's like tackling the biggest, baddest monster in the dungeon first. Imagine you're in a video game and the high-interest debt is the final boss. By defeating this boss first, you make the rest of the game much easier. This approach requires a lot of determination and focus, but the sense of accomplishment you get from overcoming such a significant challenge is unparalleled. Think of it this way, that high-interest debt is like a leak in your financial ship. Every month, a portion of your hard-earned money is slipping away, lost to interest payments. The longer you let it go, the bigger the leak becomes, and the more money you're losing. It's like trying to sail across the ocean with a hole in your boat. You need to patch that hole as soon as possible to prevent your ship from sinking. The longer you let it go, the more money you're losing. High-interest debts are like a ticking time bomb, constantly eating away at your financial stability. Every day that passes without addressing these debts is another day of lost money. It's crucial to act quickly and decisively to stop the financial bleeding, so you plug that leak first by throwing everything you've got at that high-interest debt while making minimum payments on the rest. This means any extra money you have, whether it's from cutting back on expenses, a side hustle, or a bonus at work, goes towards paying off that high-interest debt. It's a focused and aggressive approach, but it's the most effective way to stop the financial drain. Once that's taken care of, you move on to the debt with the next highest interest rate and so on. This systematic approach ensures that you are always targeting the most financially damaging debt first. It's a step-by-step process that gradually reduces your overall debt burden, making it more manageable over time. By tackling high-interest debts first, you minimize the amount of interest you accrue over time, which saves you money in the long run. This method not only helps you get out of debt faster, but also ensures that you are paying the least amount of interest possible. It's a smart and efficient way to manage your finances. It's a more strategic approach, and while it might not give you that quick psychological win like the snowball method, it's like a slow and steady marathon that ultimately saves you the most dough. The debt avalanche method is about playing the long game. It's about making calculated decisions that will benefit you the most in the long run. While it may take longer to see the results, the financial freedom you gain at the end of the journey is well worth the effort. Now here's a pro tip that many people overlook. Negotiation. Don't be afraid to negotiate with your creditors, especially credit card companies. You'd be surprised how often they're willing to work with you, especially if you've been a good customer. Call them up and politely explain your situation. Let them know you're committed to paying off your debt, but you're looking for ways to make it more manageable. Ask if they can lower your interest rate, even temporarily. Sometimes, even a small reduction in interest can save you a significant amount of money over the life of the loan. Remember, the worst they can say is no. And if they do say no, don't be afraid to ask to speak to a supervisor or explore balance transfer options with lower interest rates. The key is to be proactive and advocate for yourself. You have more power than you think. Now, while paying off debt is crucial, it's equally important to avoid falling into the debt trap in the first place. One of the best ways to do this is by living below your means. I know, it's not the most glamorous advice, but trust me, it's the foundation of financial freedom. Track your spending, create a budget that works for you, and find ways to cut back on unnecessary expenses. Do you really need that daily latte or that subscription you barely use? Redirecting even small amounts of money towards debt repayment or savings can make a world of difference over time. It's like that saying, watch your pennies, and the dollars will take care of themselves. Remember, building wealth isn't just about making money, it's about keeping more of the money you make. And that means being mindful of your spending habits and making conscious choices that align with your financial goals. Look, getting out of debt and staying out of debt is a journey, not a sprint. It takes time, discipline, and a solid plan. But I'm telling you, it's 100% achievable. The feeling of being debt-free, of having that weight lifted off your shoulders, it's incredibly liberating. So, take control of your finances today. Start by understanding your debt, choosing a repayment strategy that works for you, and committing to living below your means. Celebrate your wins along the way, no matter how small they may seem. Remember, financial freedom is within your reach, and I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Alright, let's talk about growing your money through investing. This might sound intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. You don't need to be a Wall Street whiz kid to make your money work for you. In fact, some of the simplest strategies are the most effective. We're going to break down some easy ways to get started, even if you're starting with just a small amount of money. Because remember, even small amounts invested consistently can grow significantly over time. That's the power of compound interest. It's like a snowball effect. Your money earns interest, and then that interest earns more interest, and so on. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to snowball. So don't let fear or lack of knowledge hold you back. Investing is one of the most important things you can do to build long-term wealth and secure your financial future. One of the easiest and most powerful ways to start investing is through an employer-sponsored retirement plan, like a 401k. If your employer offers a 401k match, it's essentially free money. Let me repeat that, free money. They're matching a percentage of your contributions, which is like getting a guaranteed return on your investment. Even if your employer doesn't offer a match, a 401k is still a great option because contributions are tax-deferred, meaning you don't pay taxes on that money until you withdraw it in retirement. Plus, 401k contributions are typically deducted automatically from your paycheck, making it an effortless way to invest consistently. So definitely take advantage of this if it's available to you. Now let's talk about index funds. These are like the superheroes of the investing world. Low cost, diversified, and they consistently deliver solid returns over the long term. An index fund basically tracks a specific market index like the S&P 500, which is made up of 500 of the largest US companies. When you invest in an index fund, you're essentially buying a tiny piece of all of those companies. This diversification is key because it spreads your risk across hundreds of different companies, which is much safer than putting all your eggs in one basket by investing in just a handful of individual stocks. And the best part is, index funds have super low fees compared to actively managed funds, which can eat into your returns over time. If you're new to investing and feeling overwhelmed, a robo-advisor might be right up your alley. These are automated platforms that do the heavy lifting for you. They invest your money based on your risk tolerance, goals, and time horizon. Think of it like having a personal financial advisor, but without the high fees and fancy office. Robo-advisors are great for beginners because they take the guesswork out of investing and make it super easy to get started. They also automatically rebalance your portfolio as needed, which is crucial for staying on track with your investment goals. And because they're completely automated, robo-advisors tend to have much lower fees than traditional financial advisors. So, if you're looking for a hands-off approach to investing, definitely check out some of the popular robo-advisor platforms out there. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is trying to time the market, buying when they think the market is low and selling when they think it's high. But here's the thing. Even professional investors with years of experience struggle to consistently time the market correctly. It's incredibly difficult to predict short-term market movements. Instead of trying to time the market, focus on time in the market. The longer you're invested, the more time your money has to grow, and the less impact short-term market fluctuations will have on your overall returns. Remember, investing is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about slow and steady growth over the long term. So, don't get caught up in the day-to-day noise of the market. The most important thing about investing is to be consistent. Even if you can only afford to invest a small amount each month, like $50 or $100, that's totally fine. The key is to make it a habit and to automate your investments as much as possible. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your investment account each month, so you don't even have to think about it. Remember, compound interest is your best friend when it comes to investing. The sooner you start and the more consistent you are, the more your money will snowball over time. So, don't underestimate the power of starting small. Just get started, stay consistent, and let time do the heavy lifting for you. Let's talk about something called lifestyle inflation. This is a sneaky trap that can really derail your financial progress, especially when you start earning more money. See, it's easy to fall into the trap of upgrading your lifestyle every time you get a raise or bonus. You start making more, so you spend more on a nicer apartment, a fancier car, more luxurious vacations. But here's the thing. Lifestyle inflation can keep you stuck in the same financial cycle even as your income grows. You're essentially running on a treadmill, working harder and harder just to maintain a more expensive lifestyle. The key is to be mindful of your spending and to avoid unnecessary upgrades just because you can technically afford them now. Remember, the goal is to build wealth, not just to spend more. Alright, let's talk about something we all do, shopping. But let's talk about how to do it smarter and save some serious cash in the process. First up, cashback apps and browser extensions. These are game changers. They give you money back on purchases you were going to make anyway. It's like getting paid to shop. Next, never underestimate the power of a good sale. Sign up for email lists and track prices on things you want. You'd be surprised how much you can save by simply waiting for a discount. And here's a pro tip. Don't be afraid to negotiate, even for everyday purchases. You can often get a better price just by asking. Remember, the worst they can say is no. If you want to master your money, you gotta invest in your financial education. And one of the best ways to do that is to become a financial bookworm. There are so many amazing personal finance books out there that can teach you everything from budgeting to investing to building wealth. It's like having a personal finance mentor in your pocket. Some of my all-time favorites include The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and The Automatic Millionaire by David Bach. These books are packed with practical tips and strategies that you can implement immediately to start seeing results. Trust me, the knowledge you gain from reading just one of these books could be worth thousands of dollars in the long run. Alright, here's my secret weapon to saving thousands, and it's something most people don't do enough: negotiation. You'd be surprised how often prices are negotiable, even for things you might not expect. We're not just talking about haggling at a flea market here. This applies to big purchases like cars, appliances, furniture, even medical bills. Seriously, you can negotiate those. The key is to be polite but firm, and to come prepared with research and alternative options. Knowing what you're talking about and what the competition is offering gives you leverage. Don't be afraid to walk away if you're not getting the price you want. Often that's when they'll suddenly become a lot more flexible. Remember, the worst they can say is no, and you might be surprised at how much you can save just by asking. Now I know we've covered a lot of ground here, and it's okay if you feel like you need a little extra help putting all of this into practice. That's where a financial advisor can be incredibly valuable. Think of a financial advisor like a personal trainer for your money. They can help you create a personalized financial plan, choose the right investments, and stay on track to reach your goals. But here's the key. Not all financial advisors are created equal. Look for a fee-only fiduciary advisor who is legally obligated to act in your best interest. Avoid commission-based advisors who may be incentivized to sell you products that aren't right for you. Remember, you're hiring them for their expertise and guidance, so make sure you're comfortable with their approach and fee structure. Building wealth is a continuous journey, not a destination. It's about making smart choices consistently over time, and it's about having the discipline to stick with your plan, even when things get tough. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to personal finance. What works for me might not work for you, and that's okay. The key is to find what works best for you, your goals, and your lifestyle. And remember, it's never too late to start. Even small changes can make a big difference over time. So take control of your finances, make a plan, and start building the future you deserve. There you have it. Simple financial tips that can help you save more, spend smarter, and invest for your future. Remember, building wealth isn't about luck, it's about making informed choices and taking control of your financial future. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Now I want to hear from you. What's your #1 financial goal this year? Let me know in the comments below. I love reading your comments and engaging with this amazing community.